This is Electric Universe Eyes, and today I'm going to narrate the introduction in Chapter 1 from Solaria Binaria by Alfred de Grazia and Earl R. Milton. Since 1924, when the theory of expanding universe was first expounded, the phenomena of astronomy have been viewed increasingly as intensely energetic. The notion of an explosive universe has been abetted by the identification of novas, the discovery of the immense energy trapped in the internal structure of the atom, and the detecting of radio noises from vast reaches of space, signaling events so extreme as the imploding of whole galaxies. What began as a whisper in scientific circles of the late 19th century has become, in late years, a shout. Yet, for reasons that can only be called ideological, that is, reflecting a constrained cognitive structure in the face of contradictory perceptions, scientific workers on the whole have not heard the shout. At the same time as the space and nuclear sciences have had to confront a new set of facts, the near reaches of space have been surveyed and the body of the Earth searched more thoroughly. The results confirm that the wars of the universe have been disastrously enacted upon battlefields within the solar system. Without exception, the planetary materials that has been closely inspected exhibits the effects of extreme forces unleashed upon it. Mars, Moon, Venus, Mercury, all are heavily scarred. Jupiter and Saturn are in the throes of internal warfare. An asteroidal belt that may be called Apollo represents a planet that exploded. Nor can we exclude from the common experience this scarred Earth. Consistent with the panorama of catastrophes, and additionally supplying a new dynamic form in cosmogony, there has been developed a body of knowledge and speculation surrounding the phenomena of stellar binary systems. The first binary star orbit was computed in 1822, but not until the past few years has sufficient information become available to speak about binaries systematically. Since the first discovery, a large proportion of observed stars have come to be suspected as multiple star systems. Moreover, many cosmogonists speculate that the solar system itself was once a binary system, or at least it is now a kind of fossil binary system, with Jupiter exhibiting star-like traits. It may be pointed out, for instance, that the distance between the principal bodies of the solar system is compared with the distances between the separate components in many binary systems. Hence, it becomes logical that a cosmogony of the solar system should be modeled after the theory that it was, and is, a binary system, a Solaria Binaria, accepting and applying for the purpose of the model what is known and thought about the observed stellar binaries elsewhere. The explosive or catastrophic universe poses basic problems to chronology. The span of astronomical time has been increasingly dramatic, even in the face of time-collapsing explosive events that reduce drastically the constraints upon time as a factor in change. Great stellar bodies exhibit rotations and motions that accomplish in hours phenomena that would, on a gradual timescale, be accorded millions or billions of years. It appears that one has to work with a paradox even as one studies a universe that changes over billions of years. One studies local events where changes are measured in microseconds. Consequence, which is the last hope of causality, is often strained in the straddling of time. When the solar system comes to be viewed in the light of newly discovered universal transactions, the idea necessarily arises that it is developed under time-collapsing conditions. Time measures, radiometric, geological and biological, that have been painstakingly manufactured to give billions of years of longevity to the system, must submit to a review of their credibility. The need to generate a new chronometry is enhanced by current reassessments of legends and knowledge that ancient and prehistoric human beings possessed. The authors would not have ventured upon this reconstruction of the recent history of the solar system were it not for the fossilized voices whose shouts about their catastrophic early world and sky sound louder even today than the shout heard in contemporary science about the exploding universe. Those anthropologists, archaeologists, and scholars of ancient humanity who believe that these shouts must have been mere whispers confront the same impasse ideologically as those scholars who overlook the larger meaning of explosive cosmogony today. What the ancients said and did not say about the world are to be taken into account. Both their concepts of time and their visions of events deserve consideration. This consideration and the others advanced before direct this monograph towards resolving the cosmogony of the solar system into a model of a Solaria Binaria, the last stages of whose quick and violent quantivolution have been witnessed by human eyes. The model stands as plaintiff, confronting the model of uniformitarian evolution as adversary. Although a note on method is appended to the present work, it may be well to stress in the beginning that a prerequisite of scientificity is the ability to suspend judgment on a case being tried. This is especially painful when one is expert on the matter at issue. Even so, a scientist who cannot suspend judgment must be deemed as incompetent as the judge who cannot suspend judgment while hearing a case in a court of law. Part 1. Origin and Development of the Binary System. Chapter 1. The Solar System as a Binary. Contrary to the hypothesis that the solar system was born as and has evolved as a single star system, it is here claimed that the solar system was and is a binary system. The binary system was formed when the primitive sun fissioned. Several planets were generated in the neck of the fissioning pair and co-revolved about the sun synchronously with the companion. The remaining planets were generated, one or more at a time, in several episodes, as the companion became unstable because of a changing galactic environment, which we will discuss in Chapter 3. The figure shown here is a dumbbell motion of Solaria Binaria. The binary system rotates like a lopsided dumbbell as it moves through galactic space. The sun orbits about the planets and the companion as they also orbit about the sun. To be precise, all bodies in the system orbit about its center of motion with the same period. Jupiter can be taken to the remnant binary partner. 1. This quantivolutionary. 2. Conception of a rapidly developed solar binary system is consonant with observations of nearby star systems. To 17 light years, or about 100 million times the Earth-Sun distance of 150 gigameters. There are 45 star systems consisting of 60 stars and 7 dark unseen bodies. Among these are many physical binary systems. 61% of the 60 nearest stars are components of a double or triple star system. Inasmuch as we cannot judge the organization of distant star systems, this statistic may or may not characterize the starry universe. Even within our sample of 60 nearby stars, the star density and the binary frequency drop with increasing distance. A suspicious fact. That reference is Van de Kamp, 1971, page 109. Nothing that we know of the Sun is exclusively a property of a single star system or would be surprising if found in a double star system. On the average, the principles in a physical binary system are separated by approximately 18 astronomical units. At one extreme, separations of up to 12,000 astronomical units are deduced. At the other, the stars orbit one another with their surfaces in contact. We see Solaria Binaria as a double star system evolving from the close extreme to a system showing increasing separation of the principles with time. The typical visual binary system that has been analyzed contains principles whose separations, periods, total masses, and orbital shapes are not markedly different from the Sun coupled with any one of the major planets of the present solar system. The present solar system differs from other visual binaries only when the luminosity and mass rations of the principles are considered. The observed features of visual binary systems are not an inconsistent final state for a physical binary system evolving in the manner that would be proposed here for Solaria Binaria. The present mass ratio between the Sun and its planets would seem inconsistent without observed binary systems were it not for the fact that these latter are all visually observed and do not exclude the potential presence of binaries where the minor principle is undetectable presently by any observation. Further, as we shall show in Chapter 4, the brightness of the Sun and its companions was markedly different in the binary phase than in the present system. The currently accepted cosmogony of the Sun and the planets is dominated by concepts of gravitation, great stretches of time, and the stability of stellar and solar system motions. In this cosmogony, one looks backward and forward in time, confident that the world has been and will be found in place under known conditions. One assumes the order of things in accord with a 300-year-old theory backed up by centuries of systematic observations. Occasionally, but nowadays with increasing frequency, new scientific discoveries are, quote, surprising or anomalous within the frame of the cosmogony. For instance, devastation has been widespread on the Earth and on the other planets whose surface details are visible. Because theories had not predicted such instability, these disruptive events are insistently termed episodic and localized, and relegated to remote times. As will be shown, the prevailing cosmogony of science cannot cope with increasing numbers of surprising and anomalous observations. Sooner or later, an alternative cosmogonical theory is invited. The mutating evidence suggests that a cosmogony can be constructed which does not require a long time to evolve our habitable world, within which major readjustments of the planetary orbits and environments are possible, and which redefines the set of forces that bring about change. We began with the theory that the solar system originated as a binary star system and has evolved to the present as such. In the course of elaborating this theory, we shall have to develop and use new tools of analysis, a general concept of electricity, new ways of viewing the origins of the atmosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere, an unusual form of legendary and historical inquiry, and revised measures of time for the process. Accepting the notion that the solar system may be presently at the end of a long binary trail leads to a theory that the sun is electrical. This fundamental idea is the topic of the next chapter. This was an extract from Grazian-archive.com.